Assuming you've practiced the previous exercise for 3 days in a row, let's continue our journey on building the foundations for a strong self-observation practice. For the next exercise in line, we are going to learn to work with our mind. Observing the breath and other physical sensations on the body implies that you're observing the truth pertaining to your physical structure, which is to say your body, but this also includes your mind. So far, I didn't ask you to observe your mind, but unintentionally you did. You probably noticed how discursive it is. At some point, you probably thought to yourself something like, what kind of mind am I carrying? I am asked to observe my respiration, and I observe it hardly for 2 or 3 breaths, and then gone I am, lost in the stories of my mind. This is normal, okay? It has been estimated that there are on average 60,000 thoughts careening into our awareness on a daily basis. That's mind-boggling if you ask me, because thoughts usually accompany emotions, and so it's roughly 60,000 moments during the day where we're bouncing between excitement, sadness, happiness, doubts, just to name a few. That's perfectly fine. We are human beings after all, and by default we are made to feel a wide range of emotions and thoughts. Those are very important. I mean, we wouldn't be able to function properly without thoughts and emotions. So they serve their purpose. They're the basis for everything that we are, which is to say humans. The problem is thinking without knowing that you're thinking. It's not knowing when a thought or an emotion has captured you. It's not knowing that there's a deeper truth to your existence beneath those constant thoughts and emotions. I remember when I went to my first meditation retreat. There's a moment during the day where you can meet the teacher. So I went to see him and I told him about my struggles in life and especially my failures in the markets and how it was a function of what was happening in my mind. I remember him saying, and this will stay with me forever, he said, if you want to understand your mind, sit down and observe it. That is all. Notice thoughts just as thought, without grasping the pleasant and repudiating the unpleasant. That is all. With those few words, during the next sitting period, my mind just expanded. Okay, and I began to really understand what he meant, experientially, not just intellectually. I began seeing thoughts just as thoughts appearing in my mind, and emotions just as physical sensations. I was being there with them and not wanting something or anything specific to happen. Naturally, when you see how flickering your mind is, you feel even more agitated, irritated. It can't seem to do such an easy job, which is to say, stay still and observe. This is your own habit pattern of the mind. When something unwanted happens, you react with irritation, agitation, frustration, all born of this habit pattern of clinging and averting. You want your mind to be concentrated, but it isn't, and so you react in such a way. The mind not clinging, not grasping, is the essence of what we're learning today, my friends. The technique of self-observation wants you to precisely drop such blind reaction by accepting unconditionally what is happening at this very moment. If your mind is wandering, you accept it. Oh yes, my mind is wandering. So what? The breath is still there, so I will come back to the breath. But again, it will wander, and again you will have to come back to the breath in a non-judgmental way, and in an accepting way, accepting that this is the nature of the mind. It will wander again and again, and it's absolutely fine, as long as you remember to always come back to the breath, to awareness, okay? Let's work with that.